This video is an example of how to find the equation of a line given its graph. So here we have the graph of a line, and we want to find what is the equation that represents this line, where y depends on x. So here's the y-axis, here's the x-axis. This is the line that we're interested in. Here's the point where it crosses the y-axis, that's called the y-intercept. Here's the point where it crosses the x-axis, called the x-intercept. To get the equation of the line, we're going to use the slope-intercept formula, y equals mx plus b. So what we still need for this equation is we need to know what is this slope and what is this y-intercept. The y-intercept, that's where it crosses the y-axis, is at this point here where y equals 6. So the y-intercept point is 0, 6, and b represents the y value in this y-intercept. So b is 6. The y-intercept is at 6. b equals 6. So that tells us that part of the equation. Now we still need to find what the slope is, m. For finding m, we can use the slope formula where m equals the change in y values of 2 points on the line divided by the change in x value of 2 points on the line. So we can pick any 2 points that are on this line for finding the slope, but we want to pick points that are actually on the grid so we can use exact values. And there are a lot of them that are on the grid here, but why don't we just use the y-intercept here and the x-intercept here as our 2 points for finding the slope. So those points are 0, 6, which is the y-intercept, and negative 6, 0, which is the x-intercept. So we'll let the y-intercept 0, 6 be our first point and the x-intercept negative 6, 0 be our second point. And then we'll just plug those points into this formula here. The second point would be x2, y2, so we'd have y2, which is 0, minus y1, which is 6, over x2, which is negative 6, minus x1, which is 0. So we get 0 minus 6 over negative 6 minus 0. 0 minus 6 is negative 6. Negative 6 minus 0 is negative 6. So here we're dividing by the same thing, so we get 1. Really, you could think of it too as negative divided by negative is positive, and 6 divided by 6 would be 1. So the slope m is 1. So now we have the slope m equal to 1 and the y-intercept b equal to 6. We can plug these into our slope-intercept formula to get 1 times x plus 6, which simplifies to just x plus 6. So the equation of the line in our graph would be just y equals x plus 6.